Hello, all you bladers. Beyblade vs. Dynamite Battle, episode 11. So we see Rashad Goodman, supposedly the antagonist, but rumored to be not antagonist because Goodman, his personality and all that, he has the exact same bay as Volt, Brave, Valkryie, 2A Evolution, just a red version. And then we see him practicing his launches. It does slam into the wall, so I guess he's not really an expert. He's kind of a noob at blading-ish, kind of like a good noob, if that makes sense. Like, he's not really new at it, but he's definitely not perfected his launching form yet. And then Belle is spying on him in the vents and sees that he has a red Valkyrie, and I guess he stumbles on himself, and then he falls. Rashad is launching Valkryie at the thing and kicks cardboard boxes to help Belle land safely. And then Belle is kind of getting angry at him, kind of like a comedic scene for shooting Valkryie at that thing. And then Rashad's kind of just taking it all in as compliments, I guess. And then after Belle is kind of saying, "Oh, Vault is Valkyrie's bay, you should never copy another blader's bay," or something. And then Rashad is saying, Valkryie is the best bay ever, blah, blah, blah. Something like that. I don't really speak Japanese. So, and then Belle kind of meets up with the club outside. I don't really understand what they're talking about at all in this scene, so I'm just going to assume that the butler is talking about Vault and Valkyrie's bond because he keeps repeating the word Valkryie over and over. And then Vault is there, kind of telling the people at BC Seoul, I guess, if that's BC Seoul. Looks like they did remodeling because this kind of room looks new, and then we didn't actually see the room where BC Seoul had the training room. And then also at the end of the episode where Free is kind of hanging out, they did a little remodeling in that place as well. So BC Seoul is looking to be remodeled. Looks different, but yeah, Vault is kind of telling his students, I guess, to some tips. Belle is kind of telling Vault that Rashad has a Valkyrie bay, and then Vault has a flashback to where Rashad is telling him that I guess Valkyrie is a good bay for him to start with, and then Valkyrie is the best bay ever, and then he's gonna form a bond with his bay, and then Vault is just, laughing, no hard feelings or anything. And then they show each other their bays, and they're going to battle, or actually they don't battle, so I guess they're just promising each other that they're gonna get stronger, I guess. And then Belle is kind of, I guess, thinking of an upgrade. So he resonates, and he sees Fafnir kind of spinning on the side, and then his avatar is there, and then funny, his avatar kind of blows up in pink smoke and turns into this, I don't even know, what is that? It's like a balloon, puffy version of him. I mean, this one is tall and Wolverine-ish with a cape and looks like that's a six-pack kind of. And then it has teeth on the belt, but this I don't think I took a picture right, but it's like a clown, a big balloonish clown, I don't know. And then it starts turning into a bowling ball and running away, so that's funny. And then Belle looks at Belial, and he imagines it with the Fafnir armor, which are those blue pieces lighting up. And I guess he goes through a sequence of events, just making the Fafnir upgrade, pouring liquid, creating the shape, I guess drilling out some holes to make it fit, and then designing it. That's funny because this mask looks exactly like the mask people wear for COVID. And then it's it just reminds me because I don't know, it just seems like Belle is wearing that mask for COVID, not for engineering. So it would be funny if they dedicated an episode of Beyblade to just wearing masks or something. Kind of like the world is today. Or at least it is today, if in case someone watches it 10 years in the future and asks, what is a face mask? But then, yeah, we see the Fafnir armor. Belle is super happy. there's like a purple kind of vortex. You see the Bey clamped together. You see the Fafnir armor, and then this is like highly edited in colors and pictures just because I'm going to use this shot for the thumbnail, but that's pretty much what it looks like when the Fafnir armor is on it. And then Belle and Ranzo battle. This is what it looks like with the Fafnir armor, so it pretty much looked the same. You can just see a little bit of blue and white, or blue and gold, excuse me, here and there. Ranzo does Cyclone Tornado. Belle does Venture Shoot. He's actually moving Cyclone Tornado. So before, without the attachment, he was attacking and he was getting some pretty good hits in, or like with his battles before without the attachment, but he wasn't actually able to move the tornado / cyclone. But now he's literally just like tossing the cyclone around. And then you can kind of, I guess, see that the rubber is like right underneath the blade, so they're explaining how much more damage it does, I guess. And then he just goes straight through the tornado, slams out. I just took this picture because I was kind of wondering, would the attachment change anything on the avatar? Like, would the attachment add a little bit of gold and blue on the avatar? So would the avatar look completely different with all 4 attachments? But no, it doesn't, unless I'm missing something. It didn't always have these 4 wings. It only had capes, so I guess it changed something, unless that was already there. And then Belle does Dynamite Bomber. It does look a bit different with the attachment on. I guess the glow kind of like spreads towards the outside. And there's a huge, like massive explosion. Ranzo's Ragnarok bursts, and the smoke is still clearing after they battle. Rashad is kind of just there. He's not angry or anything, he just goes off to tell Free, I guess. And then, yeah, this is what I was talking about with BC Soul looking different, because Free meditated in a kind of like temple place, like a small, kind of like run down little stadium with like a, I guess, small little temple around it, columns around it, and now there's like all this. So I guess they built something on top of the jungle. That's cool. Then Free's kind of just meditating, listening to Rashad talk about how Belle has a Fafnir upgrade. And then he remembers how Fafnir beat up Ragnarok. He kind of powers up, and that's the end of this episode. We see the episode. Oh, that's not the end of the episode. This is the end of the episode. He completely powers up. Not like veins and everything, he just resonates with the gold eyes. In the preview, we see Rashad staring at a cardboard box. Looks like Ranzo is kind of in the place where Free was meditating in this episode. We see Free battling, and looks like he's resonating a lot more than he was. So I assume Belle's probably gonna lose the first round and win just because of plot armor. I wish it weren't that way, but hey, what are we gonna do about it? And then we see Belle and Fafnir obviously clashing. Belle has the attachment on, and then Free is that's creepy. That's definitely creepy. And then like get knocked up in the air. I assume maybe Belle gets knocked out and Fafnir bursts or something. And yep, that's the end of this episode. So what did I think of it? I thought that it was pretty cool that Rashad literally created a red version of Valkryie to show how much he looks up for Vault. I mean, he obviously didn't create it for that purpose, but I just admire how Rashad looks so much up to Vault that he'd actually create a like copycat version, kind of like Shadow Doomsizer and like all the Shadow Beys and God, except red, not black, to like kind of train with before he actually gets his Bey. So yeah, that's cool. And yeah, so this episode, I don't really get how Belle thought of the idea for an attachment. I mean, I guess he thought of Fafnir's shape, but what made him think to make an attachment like Fafnir? Like, I don't get that process of thinking, but it's a cool creative concept. I just don't get where it came from. But yeah, this episode, definitely not the best of episodes, just because not a lot of stuff happened. Basically, just got the attachment, and Rashad has a red Valkryie. That's basically it. You can chalk this episode up to 2 major points. Nothing really too special happens. I guess the upgrade is really important for future episodes, but I guess it's kind of just a little bit of filler. It's decent, not super bad, not super good. That's pretty much it though. And yeah, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe if you enjoyed. Have fun. Peace out, and don't forget to keep on blading.